I looked it up. Giannis this season as a home dog is 1-3 against the spread, 1-3 straight up. Only 4 times: Thunder, Cavaliers, Celtics. The one win and cover was versus the Nuggets.
There you go.
So the question
That's
is
still the gauntlet, though.
Yeah,
So,
and the question is do you think that Minnesota is on the tier of Thunder, Cavaliers, Celtics? And I do not. I don't think that I don't think you can reasonably get to a spot where you think that the Wolves are within 4 points in power rating of those teams. I can't get there. So, as much as I like the Wolves, and I love the Wolves, so I think that's a bad spot. Final one. This one I'm going hardcore against my model. My model is what are you talking about? You should absolutely take the Phoenix Suns. This is a pick'em game. This is this is so close because my numbers are based off of the full season performance and not this run with Jimmy Buckets. I'm just gonna ride the hot hand. There's nothing complex about this. This is, since the trades, I've been betting the Lakers when they have Rui, Jackson Hayes, and Luka Doncic together. And I've been betting the Golden State Warriors when they have Jimmy Butler, Brandon Pajemski, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green starting. When they have that starting lineup, I think those, and I forget who the other starter is, they're 14-1 now after the loss of the Rockets. Coming off of a loss, pissed off. The Suns team is done. The Suns team is dead. I don't think there's anything personal with them versus KD, who's out for this game anyway. I don't think there's any sort of animosity. There's no motivational spot here. But Warriors need this game. They need it to get out of the play-in tournament. They're laying 8.5. The Suns have not proven to me that they can hang. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 8.5 here with the Dubs, despite it not being a quote-unquote sharp bet, I think, from most perspectives. It's a square play. I just think sometimes when teams are in a certain spot and the other team's in a certain spot, the square plays the move. This is single digits. I'll take the 8.5 and lay it.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, when we talk about square versus sharp, we don't know what that answer is until the buzzer sounds and the final's up. So if you lay 8 and they win by 12, it was a sharp play. You know what I mean? So I think that's sometimes the quote unquote obvious play is the right play. And if it checks out and you like the spot, don't be afraid to fire because people that might come off as a square play. If that's the right play and it backs up with your research, go ahead and print the slip and don't worry about that. But I agree because the Golden State Warriors have multiple guys they could throw at Devin Booker, and Devin Booker is the only guy doing anything offensively for the Phoenix Suns at the moment.
My bigger concern is the defense. The Suns' defense, I think, is still 30th since the All-Star break. It fell off of the map through the floor and into the center, the Earth's molten core. It is so terrible. And Brandon Pajemski has been just a flamethrower for the last 2 weeks. He's been great.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everyone's talking about. Go ahead.
Combine that. If we know the defense is extremely poor, especially the back half of the year without KD on the floor. If you could listen to these shot attempts, Matt, the last 3 games for Devin Booker, 29 attempts, 32 attempts. I just watched him drop 40 at the Garden the other day. He was awesome. He's been awesome. He's also has to distribute. I'm talking, he had 39 and 11, 37 and 6. The only reason he had 3 assists the other night versus the Knicks is because no one else hit the shot. Brad Beal had 0 points until the middle of the third quarter. So offensively, they just have no one that's contributing. They're not going to stop anybody on D. And then the team you're going up against has multiple guys. How about we just hold Devin Booker to 28? And then this is a spot where the Warriors should win by double digits. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
All right, so for the parlay, we're going to do a 14 parlay. We're going to throw in the Bucks because it's the wrong number, and I think they win this game outright. We're going to throw in the Warriors because they're going to win this game outright. I'm taking the Magic, and in part, I'm taking the Magic because the Hawks the other night made a ton of threes versus Utah. Just an absolutely incredible amount of threes in that game. I forget what the number was. It was over 20. And so this is one of my favorite trends, Sean. I love this trend. When you are a favorite playing a team that made 20 or more threes in the previous game, 20 or more threes in the previous game, that's a lot of threes. Even in today's game, that's a lot of threes.
Yeah.
130, this is since 2014-15. 139 and 49 straight up at 74%. 113, 72, and 3 at 61% ATS. But
Wow.
we're gonna go ahead and just grab the money line here at 74%. It is such a great spot of you shot the lights out in the last game. You come into this one and I don't like. There's certain things that about sports. I'm always trying to find like what's the quantifiable indicator of these things that we notice. And how often do you see your favorite team like shoot the lights out and then it's like, God, what the fuck happened? Like we couldn't miss in the last game versus the Jazz, and now we can't hit anything. Orlando's good defense. Orlando at home. Orlando needs this game like blood. I'm going to grab it, the money line, and add the parlay with the Magic. And the last one is Pelicans, which is disgusting and horrific, but the Nets can't be favored. The Pelicans are starting Eve Messi, Bruce Brown, who played like 35 minutes the other night. They're playing James Earl Robinson. There are NBA players that are playing for the New Orleans Pelicans. The same is not really true for the Brooklyn Nets. And I think Jordi Fernandez has absolutely proved he's a great coach, and he's like their future is bright in terms of how they've developed and their ability to reshape their roster and get past the awfulness of the KD Kyrie era. But they should not, like, I faded them as a favorite versus the Raptors, and I will go back to the well here and fade them versus the Pelicans. The Pelicans are bad. The Pelicans are awful. A lot of these guys are guys that I'm having to Google. I am still telling you they have more NBA talent on the floor than the Nets, so I'll throw the Pelicans in the money line as a dog too.
Yeah, this is the quintessential take your kids to the game matchup. Tuesday night, Pelicans in Brooklyn. If you want to have a little family evening and catch some hoops, this is where you could spend under
$30.
Yeah, you can get tickets for the low. Go hang out and still take them to the game and have them enjoy and have them not know the difference that you're not. This is not the highest tip top quality.
Yeah, they're
quality
the Pelicans. The Pelicans starters in that game versus the or the most players who played the most versus the Bucks. Antonio Reeves, Bruce Brown, Keon Brooks Jr., Eve Messi, and Elfrid Payton.
Yeah.
Lester Quinones, who I actually really like and think is a good player, and Jamal Cain. Part of this is like I will tell you, like I like all these guys. Like I like all these Pelicans dudes that are fringe NBA players. So that's part of it here. But I like that one. That 4-team parlay is plus 910 because we got two dogs in it along with the two favorites.
Let's
Dubs,
cash it.
Bucks, Pelicans, Magic, plus 910. That's your
Knicks, Celtics at the Garden, across the bridge, Pelicans, Nets. Tough.
I'm gonna put Pels, Nets, and Wizards, Pacers up on the double box on one of my TVs.
Put the double box up. There you go.